Erase the trust. Okay, so here's what I want to talk about today. A lot of what we're going to do in this unit, and more broadly in science in general, is something called counterintuitive. I think we might have talked about this last time. But I want somebody to offer me a good definition of that word. So what does it mean that something is counterintuitive?
Kind of like contradicting me.
Contradicting what?
Like your intuition.
What is your intuition?
Your
Like, think about it in terms of this experiment, maybe. Like, your intuition would refer to, like, what?
kind of what you're trying to do.
I was trying to do, but you're close. Come on.
Like the opposite of what you think might happen?
Yeah, that's probably a better way to phrase it. So, counterintuitive, you can break it up into these two words, right? So, your intuition here would be sort of, what do you think would affect the period of a pendulum? And what factors do you think cause it to swing fast or slow? And maybe they're not what you expect them to be. So here's what I'd like you to do first. I'd like you to write down, and you're going to agree as groups on this. You're going to write down a hypothesis for all three of our independent variables, and you're going to say whether you think the string length, the release angle, and the mass that hangs at the end affect the period of the pendulum.
Go to this way. Alright, so this way. 1, 2, 3. Yours goes faster. They have your list.
Wait, so I'm clear about it. You did actually do the experiment.
Yeah,
We did, but we can't. The data we got was so
but
sketchy.
we can't figure out
Yeah.
something. We can't.
Well, then, that's kind of the point, though. I mean, if your data is sketchy, then your data is still your data. You're going to plot it, and then we'll talk about why it's sketchy. But you don't get to just swing your ID and be like, we'll go with that.
Okay, we're just.
You have to be willing to trust data, because sometimes data suggests things you don't think data would suggest. Sometimes you are certain in your heart of hearts that one thing is true, and then you do some research and you find out you were wrong. And then there's a tendency to sort of just say, well, I must have screwed up the data. Not so. You trust your data. As long as you conduct the experiment properly, you have to believe that whatever the results suggest is the case. So that's what I want to get at today. So you're going to try to investigate whether any of these three factors impact the period of the pendulum, and we're going to do that graphically. So I want you guys to make 3 graphs on your board, and on those graphs you're going to plot the independent variable on the x-axis, so that's length, release angle, mass, and then for all 3 graphs, your dependent variable with the period, and that's going to be a call it, and describing the specific amount of time it takes to perform the swing. It's still a time, but it's specific. The graphs are more important.
We have 6 numbers.
Don't worry about it, you can say this part out loud. I mean, I wish you would already have done it, but the graphs are you're not going to have that division in instructions.
We have to start less than 1.
So you already typed up your data?
We typed in the day we got it.
Cheap, man. Can I speed up a little bit on what it is?
So the independence is the what?
We have to start from less than
Remember the dry
1.
mix and everything?
So let's do 0.95.
Mix of yours?
Such a nice word.
You think the word variable starts with that?
Wait. I mean, yeah.
It's been a long time.
Exactly.
We can do copy.
Alright, the mix.
So this is the thing. This is what varies.
Teachers, angles?
So this is like what you put in.
I just do it here.
But we don't have.
If I take the time to call,
Looks like we're going to need a little bit more time than I wanted to spend on this. So if you don't already have more than one person whiteboarding, we will lend you a marker if you need one, so you can have people working on 2 graphs simultaneously. We got to have this done as soon as possible.
It's right here, because it's over here. It's on the left.
Oh, so it's above it.
2-minute warning.
Yeah, hurry up. Maybe I should do this one.
Oh, wait, you doing it really?
so we want up the first 8 first. So for the other ones, we're going to fix this, let's say, by the print is equal to 30. So 30 and 1 second is that?
Do you manipulate the angle or
It's
just
like 1 second with 30. So I guess 30, that will be like.
So this is the time it takes to
But this is like 30.
This is Bob's Facebook. As you can see, Bob is usually the term that we use to mean the little mass hanging at the end of the pendulum. Right? So let's see what's going on Bob's Facebook. He was born in 1656. Bob's getting up there. His family's the harmonic oscillators. You go home tonight, your parents say, what did you learn in school? You're going to say, simple harmonic oscillation. Because it sounds awesome and it's accurate. Let's see who's posted. Oh, look what's going on over here now. Who's he friends with? Isaac Newton, Johannes Kepler, Miley Cyrus. One of these things is not like the other. What's going on over here? Oh, people are posting on Bob as well. This is from his friend Amplitude. Hey Bob, I just want to let you know, I changed my name. Release angle is the old me. Now on call me Amplitude. Oh, that's interesting. I'll tell you what, I think we should honor the request where you put angle on your boards. Let's call that something else. I want you to change the name of that variable. Change the name of that variable to amplitude. Change the name of that variable to amplitude.
Take off for these.
Zion, what are the units of amplitude? Yeah, we're not changing the quantity, right? We're not making it a new variable. We're just calling it by a more precise term. So amplitude literally means the maximum angle from the center. So that's the same thing as release angle, right? Like it never goes farther than you released it from. That would violate energy conservation. Who else is on here? Let's see, string length. Oh man, he's cool. I feel like no matter how far away you are, we always see each other regularly in my crazy BFF. I know, that's adorable.
What do I like it?
I know. Here's Mass. Mass, good friend of yours too. Alas, my heart is heavy in your absence. Do you too carry this intolerable weight on your shoulders? What mayest I do to shorten the seemingly interminable intervals, the very chasms of time twixt our rendezvous? He's a little weird. And finally, this is just Bob. Bob's, you can post your own status updates. Bob's like, everybody wants a relationship with me, but I don't relate to everybody. And then this emoji, which I still don't know what it means. No, I know how to read, but I don't know what it means. This thing on Facebook with your relationship status, and then you can say like, I'm single, or I'm married, or I'm engaged, or whatever. You can sort of do the same for Bob. Bob could be in a relationship or not with any of these variables. So here's what I mean. Instead of being engaged or it's complicated, Bob, it can be in these relationships. Here's the options for Bob. Bob could be in a direct relationship with these variables, an indirect relationship. By the way, side note, when you type these in, it automatically puts up a picture. I have no idea how they match the picture to the words that I wrote. Like, I don't know why this guy from The Princess Bride is no relationship. It just came up. It automatically populates. A directly proportional relationship, an inversely proportional relationship, and then no relationship. If there's no relationship between x and y, what would the graph look like? Shoki, what do you think?
It would be like a straight line.
Straight line located where?
Along the x-axis, like going horizontally.
Would it have to be along the x-axis?
No,
Why? Charlie, help him out?
Because then that would mean that it's 0, which it isn't, right?
Well, not necessarily, but here's my question.
So you could be along the x-axis and have to.
Okay, so that's one of many options? Okay. What about the thing he said about the line being horizontal? Is that a requirement? If a graph is going to show that there's no relationship between your variables, must it be a horizontal line?
I think so, because as the y changes, the x does.
That's right. So what we're going to look for on your graphs here is if you see any horizontal lines, if you see any lines that have no slope, right, slope of 0, that's going to be indicative of a no relationship situation. So take a look at your data and all the other boards too. Let's figure out which, if any, of these show a relationship. Serious outlier going on here.
Well, the usual relationship to the, I mean,
This
if
one
there
just says
was no.
string.
What?
And then this instead of x.
Like, we do have.
Yeah.
Good.
Also, that is the thing.
Is there any relationship here?
It was.
Here?
I think it has no. We got some weird data.
Like, for here.
It got
It
gets small and small like every time. There's a greater increase in between these things, but after certain equation, it's kind of.
Okay, spelling is hard.
What do you guys think? Do any of them show a trend?
It's 30 degrees.
Do any of them they have a slope?
The length of what? Length of the string. Nice.
This is like the only one that's like.
Yeah, well, it could be an outlier, right? It could be some error.
Alright.
Or maybe there's a trend. What do you guys think? Well, it looks to me like the mask goes kind of down. So, I mean, the trend would look like it's always. There is such a thing as a trend that goes like this.
It seems like that. I think we did it
It's
differently.
either up, down, or flat. Those are your
See,
options.
because I have the mass changing. Oh, wait.
Did you guys discuss?
Because the x-axis is for all of them.
Let's say, oh, I can look this one.
It's also some driven there.
You're doing master, right? You did. I think that we're like.
I want to try to reach a conclusion here about which of these factors, mass, string length, and amplitude, which of these factors has an impact on the period of a pendulum. So let's start off, look at everybody's mass data, hold up your boards, and if you guys could just back up a little, so I don't think. And Keelan, where are you? Keelan, I don't want to teach anymore, so you're in charge.
Oh, cool. Okay, so, everyone's looks roughly the same, except that I see on some of yours, it's just a horizontal line, and then some others, it's just random data plots. What's up with that? Anyone? Anyone?
Yeah, it doesn't look like the mass changes that much. It looks like a flat line.
Looks like a flat line.
A lot of people.
Why is it a flat line then?
Because I guess it has no relation to how long they've been swimming.
Okay, and then for some of you who have like the random data points plotted, like why might it be like that? Why would it be just kind of scattered everywhere?
Well, it's not random.
Can you turn your board this way a little bit?
Okay, but would you say that the mass has any relation with, like,
Any relation, any correlation,
yeah, does it have any relation to it?
right? Any
Is there any correlation in between, like, The two variables?
Yes,
And why would you say that?
because it's not a straight line. It's like changing.
It's not a straight line. But
So then, okay.
is there like a general trend in the data? Kind of, like I see in length and amplitude, it kind of just goes up, kind of like that. But this one is kind of
It kind of
1.1.
decreases while the mass increases, but like for 200 grams, I don't know why it like does not go with the trend.
What would you call that kind of relationship?
Irregular relationship.
Irregular?
Irregular.
What's the one, what do you call the relationship when something increases and something decreases? When one increases, the other decreases. What would you call it?
No.
Anybody know?
It's one of those, if you look at the options of,
I think Charlie.
ooh, which one is it? Well, there's two, those are two different things. There's an inverse and then there's an indirect.
Inverse, indirect.
Yeah, it's inverse. It isn't?
Indirect.
It's what?
It's both. It's both. Both of those refer to a type of graph or a type of relationship where as one goes up, the other one goes down. Right? The difference between them we'll get into a little bit more later, but they both refer to the general negative slope trend. Line that goes down. Can we kind of draw a consensus real quick about what it looks like is the relationship with the mass? Are you okay? The mass and the period. What does it look like based on most of the data we're looking at? What can we conclude?
Messed up.
Okay, can we be more specific?
Well, like, there's no, like, trend, I guess.
Well, but that is a trend, though. I mean, but if you had to conclude that one of those relationships we talked about exists, one of them does, which one is it, Charlie?
It's with mass, because like, on all the different graphs, like, the points might look different, but they're all consistent to their own, like, experiment.
So which relationship?
Mass is affected.
No, I'm saying for the mass, which of those relationship statuses?
No relationship.
Okay. Does anybody want to disagree with Charlie? Or do we all think Charlie's right?
Yeah.
Then let me put this to you. If Charlie's right that the mass does not affect the period of a pendulum, if that's a true statement, then you could literally hang 1 billion pounds from the pendulum and it should swing at the same rate. If mass has no impact, then it shouldn't matter how much mass you hang. Obviously, that's assuming the pendulum doesn't break. But if you swing any amount of weight, would it still swing at the same rate?
No.
Let's go find out.
Oh, God.
Come on, we're on that.
Oh, yeah.
Somewhere and something's swinging on it.
Use this thing, dude.
Now, I'm going to need some people. Oh, there it is. I have another one. I'm going to need some people who can volunteer to time this. Let's do 3. Just try to get the best data. Zion, can you time? You did yourself up for this. Come on, and one more. One more timer, please. Okay, so let's investigate the claim. The amount of mass you hang from the end of the pendulum should not impact the period. The first thing we got to do is figure out the period of the pendulum, right? So there are some assumptions that we normally make about pendula which are going to kind of not work here. One of those assumptions is that the string is massless. This is a chain made of metal. It's not massless, but it should still give us pretty accurate results. So what I want you to do is I'm going to say 3, 2, 1, go. You're going to start your timer on go, and then you're going to let it go 5 full periods, and you're going to stop at that. Clear? Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. 1, count for me. 2, 3, 4, 5. Stop. What do we got, Damon?
14 seconds.
14 seconds. Over here?
14 seconds, 0.25.
14 seconds. Timers, what do we got? Oh, right there, so exact agreement. So 14 and a half, 14 and a quarter, somewhere in that neighborhood. So if we're going to change the amount of mass, it shouldn't affect the period. We should get 14.25 seconds no matter how much weight Should this go poorly? I've always loved you guys. Here's what I like. Dude, would you agree with that my body mass is basically higher up than this part? So what's happening is if I sit up straight, I'm effectively making the string shorter. Because the mass that you call the center of mass, the center of my body, is closer to the top than this one. So how could I make all of my mass at the same distance away that this was? I'm gonna have to swing horizontal.
Wow.
Wish me luck. Mass would have no effect.
I came in like
Timers, are we good?